Hello everyone. The purpose of this short video is to walk you through the steps that you're going to need to take in order to be able to connect to your Raspberry Pi over your Wi-Fi network. We're going to need to add a file called wpa-supplicant.conf to the boot partition of your micro SD card. So I'm going to go ahead and plug my micro SD card into my USB SD card reader. And now I'll be able to, from a terminal, navigate to the directory of boot. So for me, that's under volumes, boot. And I can use list or ls to see what files are available there. And we're going to add a new file called wpa-supplicant.conf by using the nano editor. So in the terminal you can type nano and then the file name, so wpa-supplicant supplicant.conf. And now inside this file we're going to need to add 7 lines to enable Wi-Fi on our Raspberry Pi. The first line is we need to specify our 2-digit country code. So for me, that is US. I'm in the United States. If you're in a different country, you'll need to look up what your 2-digit country code is. The second line, you're just going to have to bear with me on what this means, but just duplicate this exactly. So CTRL_interface equals capital DIR equals /var/run/WPA_supplicant space capital group equal netdev. Okay, again it's control interface equals dir equals var/run/WPA supplicant space group equals netdev. Now notice that there's only one space in all of this, and that's between WPA supplicant and group. So don't put any spaces near the equal signs or anything like that if you're tempted to do so. Then in a new line, we're going to type in network equal and then open curly brace. And then a new line, and you can tab over to make it a little more readable. SSID equal, and then this will be whatever the name of your Wi-Fi network is. So for me, it is Linksys 29170. And then you're going to, on the next line, type in PSK equal, and then inside quotes, whatever your password is. Now this is your password that you'll need to access your Wi-Fi network. And so if you may have to refer to your documentation to be able to access that password. I'm not going to type mine in here for the sake of the video. And then on the final line, you're going to type in key management, KEYMGMT equals, and then WPA-PSK. Now notice here there's no quotes around the WPA-PSK. And then finally on the last line, end it with a curly brace. So again, it's country equals and then whatever your 2-digit country code is. This line, which is control interface equals dir equals /var/run/WPA supplicant space group equals netdev. And then we're going to specify your particular network, which is network equal, open curly brace, your SSID or your network name. Mine in this case is Linksys 29170. You should replace that with whatever the name of your network is. And then on the next line is PSK. I've just left this as a kind of default option here, but you'll want to replace your password with whatever your actual password is. And then the final line is key management equals WPA-PSK. I hope this helps you get configured in such a way that you can access your Raspberry Pi over Wi-Fi. So then what you're going to want to do next is on the Nano editor, click Control X, and now you'll be prompted to save the file. So save modified buffer, answering no will destroy changes. We want to save this file. So we're going to click yes or Y, and then it'll ask you the name that you want to name the file, and we want to name it wpa-supplicant.conf. So you can just hit enter. And now if we ls or list the files in the boot directory, we should see now the wpa-supplicant.conf file now appears in our directory. And so at this point you can unmount your SD card, plug it into your Raspberry Pi, power it up, and you should be able to access the Pi username over SSH via Wi-Fi. Okay, I've removed the micro SD card from my USB card reader. I've plugged it into the Raspberry Pi and powered on the Raspberry Pi. At this point, if everything worked, the Raspberry Pi should automatically connect to my Wi-Fi network that I specified in the WPA-supplicant.conf file, and we should be able to SSH into the Raspberry Pi without the need for a wired Ethernet connection. So let's see if it worked. So I've opened a terminal here, and now I'm going to try to SSH into the Raspberry Pi. So again, SSH, then the username, which is Pi, and then the host name, which is Raspberry Pi, and let's see if that worked. And so again, we get this list of a warning here about permanently adding ECDSA host key to the list of known hosts. This is okay. Notice now that we have an IP address that's different than in the video where I connected the same Raspberry Pi via the wired LAN connection. Okay, so now we need to enter the Raspberry Pi's password for the Pi username, and in this case, it's just Raspberry. RASPBERRY. And so now we've been able to SSH into the Raspberry Pi via Wi-Fi after modifying the WPA-supplicant.conf file on the micro SD card. Hopefully this video will help you get up to speed quickly and get you connected and controlling your Raspberry Pi over your Wi-Fi connection.